Hey, this is Codger, but my real name's Matt, and I want to talk to you about my friend Randy Stewart. Randy Eddy Boy Stewart. He was a wonderful man. He had the greatest sense of humor. In his obituary, it says that he liked to make people laugh and be the life of the party. And that's all absolutely true, but my relationship with Randy was maybe a little different. I loved to make him laugh. I loved his laugh. I loved his sense of humor. So I used to do a lot of goofy things at work. We worked third shift together, and at night you need to make the time pass a little bit. So laughter is a good way to do that. But let me quote you something. Well, art is art, isn't it? Still, on the other hand, water is water, and east is east, and west is west. And if you take cranberries and stew them like applesauce, they taste much more like prunes than rhubarb does. Now you tell me what you know. And that's a quote from Groucho Marx. And I used to do all these silly things, say all these silly things to make Randy laugh. And what I loved about Randy was he got it. When other people were looking at me like I was absolutely crazy, he was over there laughing his head off, which always made me happy to hear him laugh. It made my night. We worked third shift together, and making him laugh was just one of the best things. Now, eventually, I went on to first shift because I took a leadership role, and he was still on third, but sometimes I'd come in early, and I always wanted to see Randy and talk to him and do some of these old goofy skits I'd perform in front of him. I'd want to do that again, just to hear that man laugh. I was fortunate enough to see him just before he passed. I was truly blessed to talk to him one last time shortly before he passed, and I'm so glad I did. I wanted to see him again and go riding with him, but I never got the opportunity to, which is unfortunate. But I'll tell you what I did do. After he passed, I went out to where he died. He died in a motorcycle accident, and I rode out there, and then I rode back to his neighborhood where he lived and carried his spirit home with me. Now that was definitely more of a coping thing for me, but maybe it helped in some way other than just me. I don't know, but it's a nice thought in any case. I really am going to miss Randy because he's one of those people that made your life a little better by knowing him. He's one that made laughter such a great thing. And if you knew him and you're watching this video, you know what I'm talking about. He was such a friendly man, such a life-filled, laughter-filled, happy person. And it was just great to know him. I was blessed to know him, and anybody who did know him was also blessed. He had a wonderful family. He often said how he had a great wife and a great son. You know, what more could you want? That, in my opinion, makes a person rich. Not material possession, but, you know, the love of the people around you does make you very rich. And he was definitely that. But what I'm going to do today is show you a couple of his bikes. He traded in his Honda Fury and his Harley Davidson Sportster to get a Street Glide. But I was fortunate enough to get a video of those two bikes. And the Sportster went back to his son, Travis, because Travis bought it back from Chippewa Falls Harley Davidson. They worked with him to get it back in the family, which is just wonderful. And Travis, if you're watching this, that's so cool. And Chippewa Falls Harley Davidson, this is why I like your shop, because you care about people and their families, and people like Randy. But this isn't about you, this is about Randy. Let's take a look at his bikes, and hopefully this is a good presentation of how cool and wonderful Randy was. This is Randy Stewart's Sportster. He's the person in the biker community we just lost. I worked with him for a number of years. I've seen this motorcycle at work so many different times. He traded it in for a Street Glide along with another bike. And well, this is just a real heartbreaking moment for anybody who knew Randy. His road name was Eddy Boy. That should be up in the video somewhere at some point. But it's a real custom job on a 1200 Sportster. I believe it's a 96. But it's a very clean bike, a very chromy bike, a beautiful bike. He was so proud of this bike. I'm surprised he traded it in, to be honest. Look at those handlebars. They're so cool. Look at all that blue that ties in with the paint scheme. This is a basic Sportster from '96, but heavily modified. So beautiful. I guess it's going back into the family. His son's buying it back, which is good. That's a wonderful thing. Travis is his son. Travis, if you see this, good on you for getting your father's stuff back. He was a wonderful man, and I loved hearing him laugh. I'd go out of my way to make him laugh. There's so many small details on here. Here's a little thing. That speaks to Randy. He was a short guy, but a big heart and big in spirit. Wonderful human being. To know Randy was to love him, so that's all I can say. Everything about this bike is cool. This is what I talk about when I say you can customize a Sportster to your every want and desire. There's nothing not available for these type of bikes. Well, rest in peace, Randy. Eddy Boy. I'll miss having you around to hear your laughter, to know your big heart. Cheers, friend. I gotta do that over. Okay, this is Randy's other bike. This is a Honda Fury. And what's interesting about a Honda Fury is that this is a production bike that comes from Honda, and it's basically a production chopper. It's got the extended rake on the forks, or however you put that. As you can tell from his Sportster bike, you know, he really liked to have some flash on his bikes and some style. And I can see why he would buy this, because it's pretty cool right from the get-go. And Honda makes a great bike, a great engine. There's just no doubt about it. You know, I love Harleys, but you know, I love motorcycles in general more. So it's got a nice little saddlebag and like a side bag with a water bottle thing there. And the engine's pretty big. I don't know what the engine size is on this or what year it is. I think it might be a 1300. Don't quote me right now. It definitely speaks to the style of rider Randy was. It's pretty cool. Well maintained. He kept excellent care of his bikes. But this is a cool bike. Anybody who buys it should be proud to have it. Well, that's cool. God love you, Randy. Like I said earlier, I'll miss your laughter. I'll miss your sense of humor. I'll miss your toughness that you had when you needed it. Now, this whole engine's pretty damn cool. You know, mostly I'll just miss having a friend that was kind to everybody. had a smile for everybody, and liked to laugh. I love people who like to laugh. That means they understand what life's about in my book. They have a deeper understanding that the best way to communicate that, in my opinion, is laughter. I used to go out of my way to make him laugh because it was worthwhile, because he got it. Anyways, love you, Randy. Rest in peace, brother. This is Randy's Street Glide that he got before he passed. He traded the other 2 bikes in for this bike. But Randy, I want to say I will always cherish the memories I have of you laughing, the memories I have of you making other people laugh. I want to say ride on, brother. Rest well. And everyone should know that all the love they gave you will go with you no matter where you are, and that will stay with you forever. I look forward to seeing you again, brother and friend, and making you laugh once again. Peace.